Christopher really has to chase the game. That's not where he excels. He wants to get that early goal and try and frustrate you and then pick you apart. I think he's going to be able to do that against the Palmer. I feel like big tournament experience going late into tournaments is a massive factor at this scale of competition. So for me, I'm going with Christopher.
Okay, well, I'm going to back the young gun. I'm going to go with the Palmer. I feel like this is the narrative set up nicely for this next generation of superstars to start emerging. Will I be right or wrong? We'll soon find out. Gentlemen, let's head towards the commentary booth and get this game underway.
Thank you very much, Paul. And yes, it is the old guard against the young blood, if you like, and it has been that story so far today. We have, well, it's strange calling Edorito the young blood, but when he was going up against Sutton, of course, I mean, everybody's getting a comparison to that fella, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's always the young v old in these quarterfinals, seemingly. And we're finding ourselves in that situation again. The Palmer, a very little to no experience to his name, going up against Christopher, a former world champion. It's it could be more. One-sided in terms of achievement and experience, but does it matter on the day? That's the question.
That's it. That's the big question that everyone always asks. You know, for me, having been around esports for a while, I've seen it countless times. Experience, honestly, is one of those things that you can't quantify, you can't account for in these types of big games. Christopher, he's been here before. Granted, not in a world finals situation like this in a long, long time, a fair few years now. But he has been here before. He's gone on late runs in tournaments. We saw it back in Portugal, in Porto, in Season 2 to get to this entire tournament. I just think he has that experience. The Palmer, we spoke about it before though, the win conditions for him, get that early goal, get that first goal, make Christopher have to really work to pick you apart, and that's where some of the gaps in Christopher's defence will start to appear.
Christopher from left to right in the Arsenal home kit as we do get into this game, and Palmer from right to left, of course, in the away kit of Arsenal. Let's see which Arsenal will be better in this game. We've seen some absolute cracking quarterfinals, we've seen close games, we've seen dramatic equalisers, we've seen absolute drubbings. We've had it all. Can we have some more close games though? That's what we want. That's what we want. You want the drama. It is going to be the Palmer with the first seemingly good attack here, and Keda, this is absolutely fantastic play by the way. It's absolutely sublime from the Palmer there as he does find his way into the box with Aubameyang. Look at this build-up play though. Back heel, skill, little passes in, and it's just how can you even defend against that, Harry?
It's two-touch football, and in the end, Petr Cech really does help to save Christopher's skin. He has to survive this corner now as well, but yeah, the Palmer, that's a great start for him, opening 10 minutes. Two-touch football, that's what's going to break Christopher down.
That's that typical corner that's driven towards the back post over the keeper that he's trying to cause problems with, but really, really good start by the Palmer. Save again, and completely messes it up. So that's where the inexperience potentially could come in, things like that, but either way, Christopher PW, the first one, under pressure here with a Kosh.
Interesting, some big players not in the starting lineup. I don't think, at least I've seen so far from the Palmer. The likes of Welbeck, he might be looking to bring on a player of his calibre later on down the line. You can see him playing Medley here in defence as well. It's interesting. Obviously, if you want to bring on fresh legs and you have to chase the game.
Aubameyang in the box sets a chance that has been gifted towards him. It's still going to be there. The Palmer living very dangerously there, giving the ball away in a terrible position, but he gets away with it.
Back to my point, if you do want to have to chase the game, that's great players to bring on, but a little bit shaky at the back there. That was certainly something that should have been dealt with earlier on.
Palmer, it's his turn now though, and it's Petr Cech with a great save. Aubameyang one-on-one, and he hasn't managed to put it away. There's been some great chances for both players so far. The better ones falling to the Palmer now, but here we go, counter-attacking opportunity now. Ramsey to Welbeck, back to Ramsey, can't quite get things going for Christopher, and it will be a counter-attacking opportunity for the Palmer.
Here is Bukayo Saka for the Palmer. Again, one of those players you don't see often in the real world, but it's being used here at the Pes League World Final. Step balancing in effect, don't forget. So, a whole range of players. A lot of it is personal preference, but some players have their own tactics that they like to try and use these players in, so we'll see that a lot throughout the remainder of the knockout games.
Well, Christopher PW trying his best to get an attack underway. It's completely in it. It's well covered by the Arsenal defence there of the Parma. This one will be played back to Kolasinac, looking like he wants to go down the left-hand side, but quite happy to have the ball here. You feel, Harry, after what has been a flurry of a start for the Parma, a couple of really, really good chances, and Christopher will be happy to have the ball.
Yeah, happy to have the ball, but mainly because his usual gameplay hasn't been so effective. He's been very sloppy. He's lost the ball quite a lot. We're so used to seeing Christopher just be patient and play short, safe passes like he is right now, just waiting for the gap to open. But he's forced it a couple of times so far, so it's good to see him just retain possession for a little while and look for a gap at the back.
Because looking for that gap, looking to try and create one to put Aubameyang through in, but not happening that time round. Mkhitaryan now will get this one out for the Parma. Moving very quickly as he attacks as well. He creates a lot of ground at a very quick amount of time. Maitland-Niles now looking for a little bit of room. Going to try and find that cross. We know he'll inevitably come in at some point. Goes towards the back post, towards Aubameyang, back down into the middle. Can't quite find his extra player there. Lacazette will get this one away for Christopher PW. But you would argue after 33 minutes, it definitely really, it's been the Parma, the one putting the most pressure on here, you feel. Ketia pushes it out to Maitland-Niles, back into Mkhitaryan, who's unmarked. A little bit slow on the uptake, though. Socrates is there very, very quickly. Good defending by Christopher.
Certainly agree with you in that the more gilt-edged chances, so to speak, have come to the Parma. But yeah, you're looking at Mkhitaryan there in the box to try and step towards that ball a little bit slow.
Kolasinac will defend, but will concede a corner. Good opportunity for Christopher here. That one's going to be brought back, so that is looking like it's going to be Hector Bellerin on a yellow card potentially. Yes, it is, and that's from the side of the Parma, so keep an eye on that one. I'm sure you'll probably sub him off in the second half at some point, but just bear that in mind. Ramsey now to take this corner. Any members in there, and looks like it's going to be a short one. We've seen this quite often as well. That's what I like to see as well. Plenty of different corner routines out of these guys. Ramsey now. Edge of the box here, looking for a pass. Can't seem to find anybody in support. And it's a poor pass by Hector Bellerin. Medley get this one away. Good ball out to Ketia. Not going to be able to counter-attack here just yet. Christopher does retain the ball.
Yes, he does. A little bit more zing needed on these balls from Christopher if he's going to play dangerous, almost 50-50 balls like he was just then. He isn't really creating too much danger, and again is playing almost a dangerous game at times. Lucky he is so well versed in this kind of gameplay, and you think it's ball retention now when it's at 0-0. Wait until he gets a goal. If he does get a goal, it's going to be nigh on impossible for the Parma to get a boot on the ball. There's going to be so much time drained away if Christopher gets that goal when he has the ball. So the Parma, very important, does not concede approaching half-time.
Do you think it benefits Christopher more the longer that this goes on goalless? It feels like he is really easing into it. What sort of back pass is that? An absolutely awful one. Football 101, you don't pass it across the box. Lacazette is there to pick up the pieces, and Christopher finds that lead that we said could be detrimental to the Parma.
Well. You can see what it means to Christopher. He's just taking a moment there to compose himself.
It's a mistake. It's a huge mistake, Harry.
Yes, it is. You cannot play a back pass like this. Not sure what was going through the mind of the Parma. Very interesting.
Absolute suicide football.
I mean, maybe you're expecting Petr Cech there to step up, or Mavropanos to just boots it straight away, but the pass was nowhere near where it needed to be. And Lacazette hammers it home right before half-time.
Oh, that's a poor goal to concede if you are the Parma. What was he thinking? It's been a close half as well, but as I said, look, Christopher's had most of the possession, but you would argue that Parma probably had the better chances up until that first one went in, but these are mistakes that sort of go away with experience, and you wonder if that is something that might come back to bite the Parma now.
If you're looking at the statistics here, just look at the passes and the passes made category that just show the difference between the two play styles. Almost, what was that, 28, I think, 28 passes more, attempted at least, from the Portuguese man, Christopher, and that's what he's going to do, especially now that he has the lead. he is going to do that almost doubly. Try and make it as difficult for the Palmer as possible. Here he is, immediately as soon as he gets the ball here in the second half with this 1-0 lead. I thought he might try and play a bit more safe than that, so a chance for the Palmer.
He's going to be able to get that ball well back. Just about gets there, but gives it away to Hector Bellerin, and here we go. Let's see what the Palmer is really made of. Can he break Christopher down here? Such a resolute player when he does have a lead, but an opportunity here, and it's a fantastic ball to Mkhitaryan. What a save by Petr. Gets down to his right-hand side, and he should not be saving that. Saka now.
He retired this season, didn't he?
That's not fair, he's a surely.
He's got the reflexes of a cat.
What a save that is.
Unbelievable.
And if you are the Palmer, you just say to yourself, right, come on, I can create these opportunities. Surely one goes in. There's been a couple of fantastic saves by Petr for the side of Christopher. But here he comes on the attack again too. Would make it difficult, but he will get this one away, the Palmer. And Aubameyang will get to stretch his legs here as Mkhitaryan surges forward. Aubameyang on his left-hand side. He might go all the way on his own. Socrates is there though. Jumps in where he needs to.
Looking for a bit more tight control there from Mkhitaryan to just allow that killer pass through. It was on for him, but a little bit lackadaisical. But once again for Christopher, panicking a little bit, being very sloppy, giving the ball back to the Palmer. And we've seen in the first half he's able to play two-touch football. He's doing it again here.
It's okay, Maitland-Niles to Mkhitaryan. It's just a little bit short. Really well defended by Christopher though, making sure he does cover those passes where he needs to. And Torreira will quite happily take his time with this ball well back into Lacazette. It's a good turn. Hector Bellerin has to be careful. Remember, he is yellow carded. He will get that one away though. And Ketia to Maitland-Niles, and the passes when he goes forward are expressive. They're creative as well. Can he find anything from that? The Palmer now into Aubameyang inside the box. Can't quite get a hold of it. Asking for a penalty. It would have been harsh.
Strong challenge, I think. There from Koscielny, I think it was, the Arsenal number 6. But this is more like it from Christopher. I was almost surprised he was willing to attack at the Palmer, considering, you know, he does have that lead, and we've been harping on about his control gameplay, his possession play style. But I'll come back to that point in a minute, Chris.
Maitland-Niles has got a little bit of room here. That sliding tackle was not quite where it needed to be. If you are Christopher, a little bit erratic on the defensive side, but he does survive it either way. Maitland-Niles will get it away for him now. Living dangerously here. It's not the typical Christopher performance that we're used to seeing when he has a lead, although there is time for that. Maybe he doesn't think one is enough.
Yeah, I said I was surprised that he's going for a second, but at the same time, I feel like it's probably the right thing to do. So I'm surprised and I'm not surprised at the same time. Maybe Christopher doesn't feel like the one goal is enough here. He feels like he needs to get a second based on the encouraging build-up play from the Palmer. He is threatened at times. Think about the early stages of this match, the way he was able to put together some really strong chances, and was unfortunate for me not to get a goal from them. But changes now will come in. Both players there on the stage playing with 2 men up top. And this is the sort of stage of the game where, if you are the Palmer, not playing the likes of Welbeck, the likes of other players that he hasn't started the game with, now he can bring them on. You look at Lacazette, he's fresh on the pitch. You have John Jules coming on now as well, Alex Iwobi. They all did not start the game, and now they're able to come on 100% stamina, impact the game. Let's see if it's possible for him to even get an equaliser.
Plenty of time left here, 20 minutes of in-game time. And as said, he is going to bring on those dangerous players with fresh legs. That's the thing that you allude to, Harry. You're very, very right. Got to be so careful against these guys with plenty of pace at this time in the game. There will be tackled. Christopher happy to concede the throw-in. Where is he going with it? He's on the attack here. A second goal would definitely make you feel like he should be walking away as winner of this quarter-final. It's a good ball into Aubameyang. Back to Lacazette, to Welbeck. So Aubameyang doesn't need to rush anything here. Oh my God, the deflection might be kind. It isn't in the end. And it will actually be the Palmer who gets it away. Fresh Alexander Iwobi on the ball to Lacazette. Look at the men over here. Christopher's committed quite a few members forward of his team to try and find that second. John Jules with the good skill in the box to Lacazette. So Aubameyang can't quite get it out his feet, and he is closed down fast. Good defending by Christopher once again, but the pressure is well and truly on here, Harry.
Yeah, good chance there from Christopher. From the Palmer. Christopher there on the back foot, but I honestly feel like I felt like the chance was gone when he didn't see Aubameyang. It was one of Christopher's players there playing at right back, must have been Bellerin, who just stepped up a little bit too soon. And on Palmer's left, Aubameyang was almost through on goal, free, completely scot-free. He went to his right instead. I thought at that point the chance had gone. Did well to salvage it, but it was certainly it's pretty much a one-on-one if he feeds Aubameyang through there. So, I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda if it stays this way until the end, or Christopher gets himself another goal and ends up winning this entire game. That might be something that the Spaniard regrets and goes and looks back on and thinking, well, maybe I should have fed it through. If only I'd seen the pass.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Song that.
Means I'm out of time. Something changed my mind, and now I wonder.
Okay, now he's well done.
Right.
Yeah. Well, plenty of changes coming in between these two teams.
It's a great song.
It is.
I know that
It's
it is.
a great song. Like I brought it up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
That's one of my playlists.
Don't put it. Anyway, as we go back into the game, only 13 minutes of in-game time remaining. Christopher with that slender lead. Most of the time it's enough. He just about gets it back to check there.
This is dangerous.
It's very dangerous, but he lives life on the edge apparently. Bellerin will win that header, but it will only find its way to Willock. We'll get there second time round though, and here we go. 10 minutes of in-game time remaining for the Palmer. What can he do here? He can find Alex Iwobi with plenty of room. Back to John Jules to Lacazette. It's this fast-flowing football once again, and it's beautiful from the Spaniard. It's that extra pass that you just don't think he needs, but he finds anyway. And finds the back of the net with it. Phenomenal from him. Aubameyang puts it in, and we may well be heading to extra time. It's been coming.
Aubameyang's the scorer, Chris, but just watch this build-up play. It's a fresh Lacazette and it's a fresh Iwobi that allow the chance to happen. There you go, into Lacazette. Great, tight footwork. Ramsey was tasked with marking him. Ramsey's been on the pitch, I'm pretty sure, since the start of the game for Christopher. Just didn't have the legs to keep up, and there is Aubameyang just pulling off the defence, finding space in the box as he always does. And for me, the tactic has worked for the Palmer, keeping those players on the bench, ready to bring them on in case of an eventuality like this. Well, it's paid off.
Has indeed. A great goal. And it felt like that extra pass was what he needed. You thought the shot was coming in with Lacazette, and the extra pass to Aubameyang with the easiest of finishes. This one is the final dagger, and a great move. 1-1 now. Plenty of time. Well, there's definitely time left for a goal yet. 9 minutes of in-game time to go. Switch into a deep defensive line here. Saka to Willock. Looking for one more chance for Christopher. May find it with Willock. A great defensive header there by Lacazette. All the way back helping.
He's everywhere.
Saka will not be able to get it away. Covered on the other side by Christopher. He does have men forward yet. 5 minutes of in-game time remaining. It's a good ball through to John Jules and well defended once again by the Palmer, having the guys where he needs to every single time seemingly. It's a good ball through to Hector Bellerin. Back to Willock, place it inside. John Jules not able to quite get there, and feel as if the Palmer is maybe looking for extra time now. Socrates walks this one forward. Lacazette on the right-hand side. Not much energy. Enough to whip it in towards Aubameyang, towards the front post. Who's going to win the header in the middle? Check is there to pick up the pieces. Will there be time for one more chance? There will be plenty of energy left. Plenty of gas in the tank. Aubameyang now. Oh, he can't find the pass, and that might be the signal that we're heading to extra time. It is one apiece after 90 minutes.
Mavropanos, by the way, is having a mare. He's having a mare. The Palmer, why are you playing? And I thought better check didn't come and snatch that ball away. Mavropanos was never getting to it. Absolutely not. But
he might be really tall, but it's the speed that lets him down, I think.
Absolutely. Just the 2 goals and the 2 shots, I think it was in the end from the Palmer. But I'm nervous. Every time Mavropanos is on the ball, I'm nervous. He's playing Medley at Mavropanos. He's actually playing. Well, I mean, he's not playing Koscielny, and he's not playing Socrates either. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind that, but
he'll have reasons, I suppose.
Of course, as I said, a lot of it can come down to personal preference.
Well,
For me, there's no way I'm letting Mavropanos back on the pitch after that. Oh my. Don't forget he made the mistake for the first goal as well, if I'm not mistaken, for Christian's goal. It was the pass back.
I'd like to blame the Palmers for that one. The Palmer, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose it probably is user error at the end of the day, but still. Scapegoat.
Yeah, you just throw him under the bus, alright. Blame the players, that's what I would. Well, changes aplenty coming in for both sides here before we head into extra time. Again, such a close competition here at the Pes League World Finals 2019. A lot of people will still be talking about Etorito as the favourite to win this one, but there's been some crazy games. Yes, okay, you can gain some momentum off winning an exciting, dramatic game, but it takes it out of you mentally as well. And, you know, if you are coasting through to quarters, semis, finals, it makes it a less stressful, less tiring day, you feel, for somebody who finds it easy.
If I'm the Palmer, I focus my attacks down the right-hand side. He has a almost, near fresh Lacazette. He has John Jules and Iwobi fresh on the pitch as well, coming on in the second half, I should say. So if he looks to exploit that right-hand side, some of Christopher's players will be a little bit worse for wear.
Well, it will be now. To Bellerin, and this is the Palmer now from right to left. Finds Aubameyang for a dive in. On the centre-backs here, Lacazette is there. Is he going to be able to find Aubameyang? Can't quite squeeze it through. Czech should be able to clear this one away from Christopher, who's now left to right. And the Arsenal home kid has said in the Palmer, the Spanish man, the Spanish youngster, from right to left in the Arsenal away kit, but an attacking opportunity here for Christopher. Good 1-2 between John Jules and Aubameyang. Eventually it finds its way just about a second. John Jules in the box. It's a good move. Is Willock going to be able to pick it up? Lacazette back to Willock. He gets there, but so does Czech. Kolasinac clears it away, but the danger is not over. Saka gets his head on it, but it will be eventually cleared away. And it just seemed as if he was never going to be able to get that shot. He just stretches a leg out to get it away, but Czech was there to meet it.
Yes, he was. If Palmer had conceded that and I'm the Palmer, well, I'm raging. How has my defence not done better there? But he survived now, and now he's on the attack.
John Jules now spreads it out wide to Iwobi. John Jules back to Iwobi. He's got plenty of room, you know. We know how crucial these passes in the boxes can be. Can't quite find the third. Found a couple, but Cristobal will survive this time round. We're about to head into the second half of extra time. Medley will get this one away. It's 15 in-game minutes gone. 15 more remaining before we see penalties.
So Iwobi and John Jules again down that right-hand side,
causing a lot of problems
for the Palmer. Yeah, they're again, stamina at this point of the match makes so much of a difference. Maybe we'll be able to see it here if one of the players flicks over to the stamina bars, but Lacazette, Iwobi and John Jules, all three subbed on, all three playing on that right-hand side for the Palmer. It's somewhere you want to exploit. He certainly did it towards the end of that first half of extra time. He does it here successfully in the second half. You can argue he is going to a semi-final.
It's a good attack straight from the kickoff here. Another Palmer, there's plenty of men forward, he's committed to it. It's Bellerin will be the first one there though. Herrera to regain possession, but doesn't have many options in front of him. Everyone very far forward.
Maybe should have gone backwards.
Herrera back to Lacazette. Look at the room here for Aubameyang. Not much gas in the tank at all though. So we'll have to pass this one off if he can. Shrugs off Medley. Just waiting for a press up here. Christopher seemingly still playing quite defensively. Bellerin will get the ball back. It's great football, but he is offside.
I think this one was intended. I think this one's intended for number 9, Lacazette. It's unfortunate there, it just locks onto the wrong player.
Sends it forward for Aubameyang. There's the Palmer. Saka now. Look at the run from Lacazette. You thought the pass may be on.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, as I said before, stamina. I mean, he would have burst past the two defenders there, the two centre-backs for Christopher. I think he's in there if he plays that ball.
There won't be many more opportunities here, Harry. Christopher looking like he's trying to create one now. Willock is onside. Has runners on his right and left. It will not fall to John Jules. Mavropanos will get this one away. John Jules, now, there's men over here if anything. It's momentarily 5v4 here. Saka striding forward for the Palmer. Room in front of him. Does he need to find the pass? He finds it, Lacazette. Back to Saka. Oh, Czech just about gets there. Christopher's defence are on their feet. Bellerin will pass this one back, and Christopher probably just trying to hang on here. He knows the stamina is very much not in his favour. The Palmer now. That was a big opportunity in the final minute.
Yes, it was. Saka there just body blocked as we go to penalties. He was so close to getting a foot on that ball. And if he does, maybe we're not going to penalties at all. Christopher, on your screens, unhappy with his performance. As you can imagine, no player here wants to go and play for penalties. But that's what the Spaniard and that's what the Portuguese on the stage are going to have to do. The Palmer and Christopher going to pens. Which way do you go in a pen?
Which way do I go?
Right.
I usually
Yeah.
go left.
Left? Yeah. It's like because you're right footed. Get your foot around the ball.
Yeah.
So you open your body up, send it the wrong way.
I don't really think about that, to be honest. I think I
Hit and hope.
just hit it dead hard and hope it goes in.
It's strong, hit it true.
I don't imagine you can kick a ball very hard, to be honest.
What I'm trying to say. Go on, say it.
You are of light frame.
Again, what are you trying to say?
Nah,
Never
I'm
skip
trying
leg
to say
day.
it. Anyway, Christopher in the home kit, the Palmer in the away, so it will be Christopher to take first. With Aubameyang, of course, faking with the target. Trying to put the keeper off, trying to put the Palmer off.
Both players can see this, but obviously you're probably going to turn it off or at least try and fake the other way if you do keep it on.
Well, here we go. Aubameyang for Christopher to take the first one. It goes wide.
Oh no.
That's a bad way to start. The Palmer will be happy with that one. Oh, and Christopher is not.
No.
Well, here we go.
Trying to get it dead on in the corner and in the end drags it wide.
It's now time for the Palmer. Just tell them where to put it. Does he go that way, Harry?
Yes.
He does indeed, and he saves it. Both penalties by Aubameyang. And the miss are saved. He tells him to go that way. He goes for it. He calls his bluff. He bloody saves it.
Even I knew he was going that way. It's an early pass for Aubameyang. Both Aubameyangs.
Both Aubameyangs. John Jules now to take a penalty here for Christopher. Who gets away with missing that first one in the end. Well, John Jules, here he goes. Can we see a penalty? Go in the back of the net. Check saves it. Holds the middle of the net there. In the end, and now it's the turn of John Jules on the other side of things, the Palmer, to take one here. Will he call his bluff again? That's the question. It's such a coin toss sometimes. It's such a mental game. John Jules powers it up and sends it down the middle. The Palmer will take the lead here in the penalty shootout. 1-0 now after 2 penalties apiece. Lacazette, it's now his turn for Christopher.
Big one to score. Don't want to be down 2-0 in a penalty shootout with penalties running out. So take all the time you need here if you're Christopher. Just make sure you score this to give yourself a chance.
Huge moment in the quarter-final. Lacazette to take the penalty, buries it. Christopher gets it this time round. The Palmer goes the wrong way with Petacek. And now, can the Spaniard answer back? It's a quick penalty as well. Lacazette takes it down the middle, and he guesses right. And that's the Portuguese commentator, as you can hear in my mic. They are happy about that one. 1 apiece after 3.
Well. No bias here, of course, at the Pes League.
We got a Spanish stream as well. I'm sure they're going as loud.
No English players here, so
yeah,
we can be as Eurovision as we want.
Are you Terry Rogan or are you more... oh God.
Graham Norton?
That's the one.
I'm a Graham Norton guy.
Yeah.
You can be Terry.
I'll be Tessa. Christopher to take his 4th penalty now. It's going to be Saka. Which way does he go? The right way, in the bottom right corner. And for the first time, Christopher takes a lead here in this penalty shootout.
So much power. It's the penalty he was trying to score with Aubameyang.
Quickly. The Palmer needs to score, and he's guessed it! He's guessed down the middle. He holds his nerve, and Christopher is 1 away. He's going down the middle, Harry.
You reckon?
I think he is, you know. Christopher.
I reckon he's going left.
Scores this, secures himself a spot in the Pes League 2019 World Semi-Final.
Fans behind the goal on their feet.
Which way does he go? Willing to take it? Can Christopher send himself to the semi-final? Yes, he can! The Portuguese in the Emirates celebrate. Christopher celebrates on the stage, and he will go into the top four here in the PES League World Finals 2019. What a game between these two. The experienced veteran against the youngster in the Palmer, who will be bitterly disappointed in that game. He has plenty more time to come in PES, but that is an experience win from Christopher as he heads to the semi-final.
Some tremendous showmanship, not only shown by Christopher, but also by the rest of the PES League contingent here in the Emirates Stadium. You never, ever want to lose on penalties. But if you're Christopher, maximum relief. You've survived. He has to be better, though, in the semi-final. But the important thing is he survives.
Just about. Just about. And throughout
Told you
the
he was
game,
going left, by the way.
You did say he was going left. Throughout the whole game...
If he went the other way, I would have said keepers left.
Oh, well, of course, yeah. Throughout the whole game, though, Christopher really was under the cosh at times. Yes, he had plenty of possession, but he wasn't doing as much with it as the Palmer. And I think you could argue again that first goal that the Palmer gives away as well, it's a tough one to take for the Spaniard. But I think, at 17 years old, he will take what he can from this experience. He has plenty more years of PES in front of him as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, again, the key to winning that is maybe you try and steal the first goal away. It's tricky, obviously, when you are so young and don't have that experience behind you. I said before the game that experience at this level is absolutely everything. You can't quantify it. And this time round, experience comes out on top.
Plenty of experience. A former world champion, Christopher. He is on the stage now with another Portuguese member of talent. Marta will be happy with that one.
Okay, I think now we are ready. Chris, your route to Worlds was not easy, and you are not making it any easier. What about this game was so intense?
I know since the beginning of the competition it will be all no easy, impossible. I think is maybe the World Cup with the best level. You have the world 4 world champions, 3 young players like Palma, first World Cup. He played very well. I have to congratulate him. I have a lot of respect of him, so congratulations. It's penalties. It was for me, but Ken also goes for him, and so I'm very happy. It's amazing.
I can see it in your face. You were in a tough group with only 3 people, and now you are here, but next game you might face up again Uzmakabil, like in Europeans, or Mayageka. Who do you think will join you at the semifinals?
It's a very difficult question because it's a World Cup. I think nobody have like previews that Gifera will not be on the quarter. Mayageka is doing a top tournament. It's not his first, but West Macabail did a 2 World Cup, 2 wins. He have also the feeling to have a revenge because he's come back also. If I talk about friendship, I would like Walid win, but probably a difficult game if you play together because you used to play, used to train together. But it's very difficult because it's a quarter World Cup, and like you saw on this game, it's online mind games.
Last question. You said it was the best level of competition you've seen so far, but are you on top of your game to win this competition?
No, I'm playing well. Honestly, I start the day not with the best way. Not talking about the game, but other facts. And for the moment, mentally, I'm well. I'm playing well, I think. Of course, you need always a little bit of luck sometimes, but I think for the moment, I deserve to be between the top 4 of the world, and I'm here to be again world champion. I know it will be difficult, but I'm here for it, and I hope we win again.
Thank you, Christopher. Congratulations. He's ready for it, guys. Back to you at the studio.
Thank you very much, Marta. Yes, wow. Such a tense game at the end there. You know it means something when you even see a hint of a smile from Christopher PW. A semi-final place booked for him, Rene, and it was at times a very traditional Christopher PW performance. He dominated possession. He made life difficult. He made himself very difficult to break down. I don't think he would have factored it going all the way to penalties, but once again we see the gamesmanship extraordinaire in the penalty shootout, and he's going to be in the semi-final.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, when he scored that first goal, we said this is going to be a difficult match for the Palmer, but somehow this is beautiful.
The body swerve in the build-up to this goal is fantastic.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And in the dying seconds of the game as well, he has that composure to just keep on playing it in the box and play on until he gets that good chance. Well done by the Palmer, well done by Christopher as well, because once again, he killed off the game like a true champion, and you're starting to feel like he's got what it takes to go all the way.
Adam, we talk about the gamesmanship again. The goalkeeper telling him where he wants him to put it. Then the mind games with the cursor on screen. Cursor, where's he going to put it? It is. It's a master of the dark arts at work.
It really is. We were chuckling off air, of course, because what we were watching was a man who knows every inch of the game, and he utilised it to perfection. And it was almost an unblemished performance as well. You've got to give credit to Palmer, because at the end of the day, he did what nobody really expected after going behind to actually grab that equalising goal late on.
I really feel like, particularly when we got to the penalties, Rene, then Christopher's the Mike, he got in the young lad's head, I think, didn't he, with the penalties, some great saves.
Well, he started off on the wrong foot. He had the miss with Aubameyang.
He missed the first one,
But then the good
missed
save.
His first penalty, made the save though to recover, and then it was his to lose really from then on.
Oh yeah, definitely. But he went up and beyond the Call of Duty. Like you said, the mind games must have annoyed the Palmer a little bit. Could have gotten to his head. But Christopher, he really deserves this spot. And I'm really interested to see if he can go on to the finals and who he's going to play next.
Yes, very interesting indeed. So we now know 3 of our 4 semi-finalists. Eterito will face Rizky Fardan in the first of our semi-finals. Christopher PW has just booked his place. Who will he be facing off against? We're going to find out very, very shortly as Maccabi back on stream. He's taking on Maya Geka. Uzbekistan, look, Adam, we talk about him as being one of the favourites. For me, going into the tournament, he was my #1 pick. Obviously, he's got the win of the Football Pro League behind him going into this. Since we saw him last at the regionals, that should still stand true. But Maya Geka's surprised us all so far today.
Yeah, he has. Obviously, the 3 for me were Usmakabal, Eterito and Griafera, and Maya Geka's already knocked out Griafera, remember, in their final group match. Like you, Usmakabal was probably my pick to be the person that could go on and beat Eterito, and I still think that will potentially be the final, but we'll have to wait and see.
What about you for this one, Rene?
For this one, yeah, I'm gonna stay with the Frenchman, because Uzmakabil, we've all been saying it, he's got what it takes to be the first triple world champion. Might very well happen today.
That's the thing that's worth remarking upon. This man is in form. Former double world champion. Won it back-to-back, of course, back in 15 and 16. Took a 2-year break from the game. Came back. Now the representative for AS Monaco. Played his way into the finals here. Obviously plays co-op as well, and having success in the eFootball Pro. It feels very much like he's a man in his moment.
He really is. I mean, like you said, he took a 2-year absence, really, to explain to people that weren't quite sure where's he gone, because he was back-to-back world champions. And in his first season back, really, playing 100%, he's done incredibly well across all tournaments in the wonderful world of PES 2019, both co-op and 1v1s. He's not quite as consistent, really, as we've seen from Eterito, and that's my only criticism. But on his day, on his game, he can literally destroy anyone.
And let's talk a little bit about Maya Geka then. Rene shocked us all by getting through this far, but not to be underestimated in any way, shape or form.
Oh, definitely. We know better by now. He had a rough group. He had the group of Tef, Aturito, Kifera, and Alamau to deal with. He started off with a draw against Alamau, the 3-3, and then he lost against Aturito. It was very, very close. Let's remember, 3 versus 2. But then you feel like it's done and dusted. It's all over for Maya Geka. And he goes out and he beats Kifera with 3 versus 2. He's got that mental stamina to just keep going. We've seen Japanese players do well in previous tournaments as well, previous years as well, like Sofia and Maya Geka himself. He has what it takes, but up against Uzmakabil, this is where it matters most. This is probably the most important match of his life.
I think it's really interesting. You see the two demeanours of the players here, Adam, and Maya Geka. He smiles, he's playful. He's looking at the camera. Uzmakabil just always looks like he means business.
Oh, yeah.
Even when he scores, he looks like he's conceded as Maccabi. But on the flip side, of course, like you said, Maya Geka, he's one of the most likeable chaps on the tour because, as you said, he's always smiling. He's here and he's enjoying himself, and that's obviously great to see.
Great to see indeed. So we're going to move into predictions. We'll bring our casting team in any moment now. But Rene, you're going to go with Uzmakabil for this one, yeah?
Well, I feel like a lot of people are going to go with Uzmakabil, so I will go with Maya Geka.
Okay. Adam?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Maya Geka victory because of how well he did against Guerrera. I think Maccabi is going to have too much.
I'm going to go with the same. I really feel like we've got an Eterito Uzma final on the cards, but he's going to have to get past this opponent. Gentlemen in the casting booth, who do you think?
It's one of the more difficult ones of the day, I think. When you look at it, especially, I mean, before the tournament, if you think Maya Geka against Uzmakabil, you would think always Uzmakabil in this one. But the way that Maya Geka played against Kufera, I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Maya Geka in this one. I just feel like an upset's on the cards.
Yeah, I think it's been very, very close, but I'm going to favour the Frenchman just slightly as Maccabi because of his firepower. He scores goals for fun.
He does. He's absolutely ruthless in this game, and that's one thing that if he smells blood in the water, he's an animal in this game.
Like a piranha.
He will continue to pile on. So yeah, I'm going to go for Uzmakabil. Adam, you've gone for Uzmakabil as well.
And I went for Maya Geka, so
and Rene
we need a bit of a reshuffle.
Fantastic. Yes, let us know your predictions by tweeting in at Pes League, using the hashtag Pes League as well, or comment alongside the Twitch stream. Anyway, that's enough from us. Let's hand over full time to our commentary team. Gentlemen, a place in the semi-final awaits for one of these guys. Take it away.
Final quarter-final here. Thank you very much, Paul. And it's going to be a super interesting one. And as I said, I think before this weekend, you look at this game, you go, okay, as Maccabi, this should be fairly comfortable, you would say. Well, not necessarily a whitewash or anything, but you expect them to win. A lot of people will still probably think that, but I think the way that Maya Geka has played this weekend, especially what we've seen when he played against Kufera, that sort of gives you an indication that might not be the full story, as Maccabi maybe isn't going to have an easy time as maybe first perceived.
No, I think it is going to be a very, very close game, as many of these matches, of course, are. This is the final quarter-final match of the day as we get it underway, as Maccabi attacking left to right in the home strip of Arsenal, and it's looking for a really bright start here early on, delivers in their post, and I'm going to go down and say that's the quickest goal of the day. Well, Chris is just still readdressing himself over here.
I honestly, I'll not lie to you guys, I'll take my jacket off as soon as the camera segment's done. It's very warm in London this weekend. Oh my God. Wow. That's as fast as you could ever hope for. A little bit of room for Aubameyang. Sort of next it into the back of the net in the end. 1-0.
Unbelievable, yeah. I mean, just working it down the wings, and Maya Geka is being caught off guard. A goal down after just 3 minutes, but I've said it many times in the case that if you are going to concede, then do concede it early, because you've got plenty of time to sort of reshuffle and sort things out, Chris. But not a great start there, is it, really, to concede after just a few minutes?
Yeah, it's really not what you want. You don't want to be conceding then. And the thing is, as well, as Maccabi, he's very momentum-based, isn't he? He's very happy to, if he takes an early lead, he will smell blood, and he may well continue that if you are Maya
Geka, you want to go back quickly. Is it possibly going to be through a delivery from Mkhitaryan?
Yeah, we know he's good at dribbling. He's going to have to use that to his advantage. Nice little body check there to have it off for a goal kick. But yeah, Macabell, very emotional player, as we know, so if things aren't going his way, if he does go behind here, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I mean, he did score 12 goals in the group stage, only conceded, I think, 2. So, you know, he's just a guy that scores goals and can defend. It's a great formula for success. And he's looking now to try and defend as Maya Geka comes forward, lays it up the line towards Aubameyang. Lays it inside Iwobi, nice give and go, one-on-one, maybe he can lay it square, decided to try and go for the narrow finish. Didn't quite work out, but a bit of a let-off there for the Frenchman.
So well worked as well. He did fantastically to find himself in that position. You wonder if one more pass would have done the job. Czech will get this one away for Macabell, and finally get out of his own half. Good amount of pressure from Maya Geka since the goal did go in. Here we go, John Jules for Macabell into Aubameyang. Back to John Jules via Maitland-Niles. Back over towards Aubameyang. It was beautiful. It's so unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate, Chris. It was just one of those things where you're trying to clear it, but you can't. And in the end, credit to John Jules, didn't give up. And now, as Macabell with a nice cushion 2-0 lead, but the way he just worked this around, switched it up, went back post towards the other far post, and just when you're about to clear it, you don't get the rub of the green, and a 2-0 lead now. Very unfortunate because, Maya Geka had a chance moments ago, and it's just the way things happen.
It's that rub of the green that we do talk about. Sometimes you need it, sometimes it goes against you, sometimes you get it. It's just one of those things, and Maya Geka did just not get it there. But let's talk about the build-up from Macabell. It was beautiful, to be honest with you. And it did deserve a goal. It finds one through circumstances we didn't exactly think would happen. Actually, I tell you what, he might have made a mistake here. Aubameyang trying to pounce on that one. Another defensive mistake nearly coming through, but Czech was quick enough to react.
Yeah, just did enough there, didn't he? 18 minutes gone. We started off a little bit slow in this tournament with the goals, but they've certainly been free-flowing over the last 5 or 6 matches as ball's played over the top. That's what the Frenchman's going to be looking for. He is one of the masters at playing that manual through ball over. Lovely ball. Can he slot this one in for number 3? Deflected away. Just about did enough here. The Japanese man trying to clear it away, but the pressure mounts. Finally gets it out. Now he's got to make the most of this break with Lacazette. The referee plays a good advantage. Mkhitaryan, space to the right. Could play this through the middle, does play it through the middle. Goalie comes out, flicks away. It won't be shortly this time. Yes, 2-1, game on.
Maya Geka is back into this game very, very quickly. Fantastic goal by him. Finds himself with a little bit of space. It's a good finish by Iwobi as well. It was well worked. A good layoff to Mkhitaryan in the middle. Finds Aubameyang, who was just played onside towards the right-hand side there.
It's a good finish.
And it is a very good finish. Czech not able to do much about that game on here, Ricky.
Yeah, just opened his body up. It was this ball through the middle, and the vision from Aubameyang to find Iwobi. Takes a touch, opens the body up, slots it far post. It is game on, and that's what we want to see. 2 goals to 1. This is only a quarter-final, by the way. This isn't the final. It's being played at a pace of the World Finals. And we still have plenty of this half to go. But the Frenchman has to be careful, Chris, because he doesn't want to get complacent.
No, he doesn't. And if you're on Maya Geka, you'll be disappointed with the way that second goal went in. But he does have a route back into this game. Bearing in mind, we've only played 26 minutes of in-game time in KTM.